What is good, YouTube? Today we're back with another review, and today we'll be reviewing the Beekeeper, the bloody Beekeeper. But before we get into that, comment down below a movie you would like me to review. It could be any movie, I do not mind. I will do my best to either watch it or review it. But also leave a like and subscribe. It would be highly appreciated. But now, let's get into the background. Let me just say this before we start. I am a huge fan of Jason Statham. His movies are great. When he is a protagonist, he is also great. Like in the trilogy of Transporter, Wrath of Man was a great movie. Death Race, dude, underrated movie. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch that one. Then also, what's another one he's in? Oh my god, I'm forgetting. Fast and Furious. He's alright in that one, and same thing with the Meg. He's alright, but those other first 3 or 4 I mentioned, he's great in. But this will be a spoiler-free review, so let's get into the movie. And the movie follows basically Jason Statham, or a man called the Beekeeper, who is, well, a beekeeper who is retired from a governmental agency, and basically he has an elderly friend that, let's just say, gets tricked, air quote, by the villain. Basically, when something tragic happens to her, you know, he does like the whole shtick, you know, action movie, like, I will track you down, I want you. Basically, that's what he does throughout the movie. You know, he takes on the CEO and everyone that's like involved with the person that did the wrongs to the old lady. And basically, that's kind of the plot, at least the plot rise. Like, I'm not getting into specific details. And a few things to be noted is that this movie is close to 2 hours long, with a runtime around the hour and 45 minutes, but more like an hour 30, because of obviously like the intro, like and then the end credits. And there's no end credit scene to let that be known. But now let's get into the goods, the bads, and the neutrals. Let's get into the good, and there is actually a good amount of it. Starting off with the intro. The intro is amazing. The intro sets like a tone for the villain and the protagonist, which is obviously Jason Statham, and also their motives and how they're going to go about this. And also transitioning from that, dude, Jason Statham is amazing as always. I mean, he's always great in an action movie. I mean, he's literally like, he's just a great action movie character, you know? He's just great for action movies. That's all I really got to say. And speaking of action, this is also some terrific and great action. Like in the beginning, it seems like, oh, they maybe like, well, not sure like any deaths or anything. No, they get visceral in here with the action. Like, it's like John Wick level, but just a tier and a teeny bit down below John Wick. And also the kills are very unique. Some of these deaths, how people are killed, I've never thought of, like, in a way. Like, I was like, wow, that is a really unique way for someone to die. That's really crazy. And also the runtime, like, it didn't feel like an hour and 30 minutes, hour 40, like maybe like during the middle just a little bit, but mainly more it was like fast paced, just action, because the action just kind of happens, I say, I'm not gonna say like too early or too late, but I feel like it's at a good time. Like there's a good build up to the action. Visuals in the movie are amazing. Maybe not the CGI, which we'll get into later, but what's called, 2 more things to end off on the goods. The villain is amazing. I love the villain in this movie. I don't know, like he doesn't do a lot in this movie, if that makes sense, but just his personality is amazing. And then a very minor one to end off with the goods. There's just a Nissan GT-R R35. And now let's get into the bads. Now getting into the bad, starting off with CGI. Yes, I sound like a broken record, always mentioning CGI is bad. CGI looks weird. It's just a lot of movies use CGI, and it's like sometimes it just looks either too perfect, where it's like it doesn't blend in with the natural environment around it, or it's just so weird that it just doesn't even look like it stands out more than what's like it's supposed to do, if that makes sense. And then also another bad thing is some of the side villains, like some of the side villains are hyped up and then lead to nothing. And also with that, the dialogue seems very generic. Like it seems very just cut and dry, just a dialogue. I'm Jason Statham, and I will cut you back. I am the Beekeeper. And then also the twist. There is a twist in this movie, and I'm gonna just say it is pretty obvious. At least to me, it is obvious that the twist, it was kind of bad. I'm not saying the twist is bad. I'm just saying it was a little bit obvious. I say one minor one is they showed a Fushigi ball, and if you know Fushigi balls, those are the biggest scammers ever. And I mean, ironic for this movie, but just I hate Fushigi balls. All right. And then the final one is the ending and the end outcome of the villain. I feel like the ending just ended too quick. It was just boom, 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 we're done. And I feel like it left more questions than answers towards the end. Maybe that's just setting up a sequel or something. But then also the outcome for the villain. Just, I did not like how the movie ended for the villain. It just did not feel natural. Like, it did feel natural. It just happened too quick, if that makes sense. Like, it just went, blink of the eye, donezo. The end of the movie's already there. Like, the villain, I'm not saying what happened to them, but just the outcome for them was just not it, I say. Or like, how they went about it was not it. And those were the bads. Now let's get into the neutrals. Okay, now getting into the neutrals, there's only 2 neutrals, starting off with the jokes. The jokes kind of did flop a lot. Like, I'm not saying flopped a lot. Some of them were good, some were bad. It was kind of wishy-washy with the jokes. Like, for example, someone said, Toby, or not to be. And that's not a spoiler or anything. That's not a spoiler. I'm not saying who said it or not. Someone said that it's like, it's kind of a corny joke because obviously, well, Jason Statham is literally, well, air quote, the beekeeper, or named the beekeeper. And then the last and final neutral I would have to say is plot B, because there's two, I guess, side plots in this. And man, let me just say this, plot B is not, I feel like, fully fleshed out. I feel like it needed some more time to cook, like, as the plot went on. It just, like, I was like, it just kept on getting weirder and weirder. It's like, where is this going? And yes, I understand, it's like, which side will they choose? And it's like, I don't know, this just didn't help a lot with the plot, if that makes sense. Like, it just probably needed to be fleshed out more. But those were the goods, the bads, and the neutrals. Now let's get into the ratings. Love myself a good action movie, especially when Jason Statham was protagonist, because he's a great actor and also just a great action actor. Like, he's great in action films. And there wasn't any difference in the movie. He was still great in this film, but there was many flaws in this movie that hurt the rating of this. Like, it kind of did feel like a generic action movie, which isn't a bad thing, because like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it just, like, that's the thing, it wasn't unique. Like, it was just same thing. You hurt someone, I hurt you back, you know. And this is like a movie you just turn off your brain to, you know, and that's just it. Like, you just turn off your brain, quick action happens, you know, boom 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 boom. You only turn on your brain for this. You just watch it, snack on something, and yeah. And for that reason, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's not a 5 just because of Jason Statham's performance in this. Again, he's just an amazing, like, actor, and just in general. And is this movie worth watching? Yes, if you have the free time to, you know, give it a watch. You know, if you have like nothing else going on during the day, just put it on. You know, if any streaming services, put it on. That will be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe. And remember, comment down below any movies you'd like me to review. But have a wonderful day. Bye bye.